Audio Jungle.
70-year-old man perishes in gallery apartment fire. A 70-year-old man has died in a fire at the Gary Apartments on Oxford Road in New Kingston on Thursday morning, according to Courtney Thompson, Assistant Superintendent of the Jamaica Fire Brigade. Thompson confirmed to reporters that the man's charred remains were found in the rubble after the blaze was extinguished. His identity has not yet been disclosed. According to Thompson, the JFB received a call alerting firefighters to the fire at 4:12 a.m., prompting the immediate dispatch of 2 units, one from York Park and another from Halfway 3. While en route, a lawman on the scene requested additional support due to the fire's intensity, leading to the dispatch of further units from Wellington Town, Frenchtown, and another unit from York Park. Upon arrival, the fire was confined to the 6th floor of the Gary apartment complex, where one jet was used to extinguish the blaze. Carrying out inspection of the premises and search and rescue, we would have discovered a 70-year-old male charred remains in the rumble, Thompson stated. We were told that the gentleman left the premises and returned to retrieve something, and he would have suffocated in the fire, and this would have been how he made his demise, he continued. Initial reports suggest that the fire started in the penthouse of the apartment 6. The JFB is currently investigating the cause of the blaze. Some 6 families have reportedly been affected by the fire. Tufton says 6-story facility now under construction will significantly reduce overcrowding at Spanish Town Hospital. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton has noted that the 6-story medical facility now in the building phase will significantly solve overcrowding at the Spanish Town Hospital in St. Catherine. The redevelopment is valued at approximately $5.5 billion and is being funded through the Health Systems Strengthening Program, HSSP, with oversight and support from the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB. The facility is over 16% complete. During a tour, Dr. Tufton expressed that it will allow for more to be done due to expanded capacity. He further underscored that the procurement process for obtaining major medical equipment is well underway.
The hospital continues to be challenged by high demand, otherwise limited space. So there is periodic overcrowding as it is now, I am told. The solution is being built behind us because what that solution will mean within a year and a half or so is literally a doubling of some of the spaces like A&E, more beds, more than doubling of operating theaters from the 2 that are there now to the 7 plus 2. I mean, that is like a 300% increase. So you'll have more operating theaters, more space. So we're anticipating that it will significantly solve the problem that are here. It's a substantial transformation and it takes time to get it done. But so far it's coming on fairly well. So we continue to ask the people of St. Catherine for some patience while we build out. This is the price of progress. When this is complete, we will have diagnostics as a major advantage, MRI, CT scans, and the project leaders told me that the procurement arrangement to secure those have begun, and some may even get here before the opening, like the MRI, I think. So, and that could be used while we complete. That to me is also very transformational because it means that some of the outsourcing of tests, which would be done normally, would become no more occasionally, and we depend on what we have.
Children in firing line. Some 453 children under the age of 12 suffered violent-related injuries in 2024, a mere snapshot of what pediatric surgeons believe is an epidemic of trauma cases plaguing Jamaica's most vulnerable group, particularly those trapped in the path of savagery. Most of the cases medical professionals believe go unreported, while fewer than 5% of these injuries are gunshot-related, mainly because gunshot wounds in children usually cause heavy bleeding loss and quite often end to death. Dr. Simone Duncan-Splites, president of the Jamaica Association of Pediatric Surgeons, JAPS, pulled on the statistics from the Ministry of Health Injury Surveillance System as she reflected on the challenges associated with treating trauma in the nation's children. In total, some 8,435 children suffered injuries from unintentional trauma, such as slips and falls, while the 453 intentionally injured included blunt force trauma, laceration, and a small number of gunshot wounds. Some 449 children suffered road crash-related trauma, another serious concern for the medical professional. The data was compiled from 12 government health institutions from January to December 2024. Dungas Blight's sentiments came in the wake of a spate of shootings and murders involving the island's youngest in recent weeks, the latest on Tuesday night when 4 minors, 2 children below 10 and 2 teenagers, were among 6 persons shot in a drive-by shooting on Tex Lane in central Kingston. Reports are that 4 men alighted from the car and fired indiscriminately. At least 3 persons were treated and released from hospital up to yesterday afternoon. We see gunshot wounds in children. We see deliberate, but most of the children being in proximity to someone else who may have been deliberately targeted. We've seen injuries where there have been spraying of bullets at events such as birthday party for children, offered the surgeon who said she recalls every child she has lost on her operating theatre. The challenges that we have are what we call penetrating trauma to children, such as with gunshot wounds. The energy from this gunshot is deferred throughout the child's small tissue, and many organs are injured, she noted, recalling one incident involving a 3-year-old. One penetrating gunshot wound resulted in about 8 holes in a bowel. There were an injury that was bleeding from the liver and an injury to the diaphragm that is supposed to be separated with the lungs and breathing from the abdomen. This is from just one gunshot wound, so you can imagine multiple bullets. When a child survives, the mental health impact is incredibly and long-lasting. She noted that psychological impact of such events on not only the children but their family and also, extension, the medical staff, many of whom are parents of children of similar age. What might also seem like a little small amount of blood lost from the gunshot wound in children is really a large percentage of the child's blood loss, and they go into shock related easily. We have to control bleeding. We have a chronic shortage of blood products, she noted, noting that there are 3 major pediatric trauma centers island-wide. Late into yesterday afternoon, sections of central Kingston remained tense, pedestrians staying wide of the ill-fated area as police and soldiers carried out detailed checks on anyone of interest. The area had not been desolated since, and the lunch shooting incident that lasted for several months, residents noted. Others explain that it might have stemmed from the death of a woman shortly before last month's general election and that gangsters had been waiting after that event. Superintendent Beresford Williams, who is in charge of the Kingston Central Police Division, declined to speak about the details of the investigation, noting, however, that the police are determined to pull out all the stops in identifying the shooters and restoring order. We know that it involves members of the Tex Lane gang and other opponents, and we're trying to prevent reprisals coming out of the association in Tex Lane. So that is what we are dealing with now, offered Williams, adding, it had been very peaceful for the last 2 years. We've had any major incident up to last night, so we are hoping, despite last night, to ensure that the peace remains. He urged residents of the community with supporting information to call 876-236-1581 or 876-432-2373. Both are contacts for lead investigators into the case, he noted. Meanwhile, Dungas Blight said that on November 9, JAPS will host its second annual scientific symposium exploring childhood trauma from risk to recovery. A suite of medical and pediatric professions are slated to participate. In response to queries from reporters, one of the slated presenters, who asked not to be identified at this time, offered that in children, gunshot wounds are very fatal, and most children who got shot do not reach hospital in Jamaica. The Kingston Central Police Division has recorded 13 murders for the year as of October 4. This represents a 35% decline compared to a similar period in 2024. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.